Good day everyone, today we are going to present about our research paper entitled Association between Sleep Behavior, Eating Habits and Body Weight among Students in University Utara, Malaysia. I am Chow, metric number 253007.
I am now Saffia Binti Mohamad Idros 252892. First, I would like to start the introduction of this presentation. So what is sleep? Sleep is a state of reduction towards environmental stimuli awareness, which means that you are not completely aware of what is happening around you. For college students, it is important to consider food-related attitudes and habits for overall well-being. However, most of the university students who are committed to various responsibilities, such as attending club meetings, representing university activities, or even rushing for assignments, often foster bad habits of both sleep and eat, which might lead to harming their health, for example, body weight. There had not been clear studies which directly relate sleep behaviors as a contributor to varied eating habit and therefore the change in body weight as the consequence. Therefore, in this study, there are two research objectives. Firstly, it is to identify the factors that contribute to the sleep and eating habits of the students respectively. Second, it is to study the relationship between the sleep behaviors, eating habits, and the body weight of the students.
Now I'm going to explain about the methodology. The very first step in order to complete our study is the study design. First and foremost, we identify the sample of study and sample size needed. Then we proceed to the data collection where we develop and distribute our questions to our targeted respondents using Google Form. Of course, a pilot test had been carried out before the questionnaire were distributed. After all the information was collected, we carry out the data analysis. During this process, we firstly test the reliability of the data. Next, chi-square tests were run to determine the factors and also the relationship among the variables. Lastly, we end our study by interpreting and discussing based on the result obtained. Okay, next we are going to have a look at our study's result. To have a better understanding of our respondents, analysis toward their demographic had been carried out. We are having 89 females, but there are only 11 males as our respondents. They are aged between 19 to 25, but mostly of them are 23 years old. Among of them, there are 36 Malays, 55 Chinese, 7 Indians, while the rest of 2 are from other races. 48 of our respondents are from CHAS, 44 from COB, and 8 of them from Caucasian. In addition, their BMI was calculated based on the height and weight provided. 55% of them are having a normal BMI, while 22% of them are underweight. However, there are up to 14% of them are overweight, and 9% of them are found to be obese. For the reliability test, it can be clearly seen that from the SPSS output table, we obtain a converged alpha value of 0.682. This indicates that the reliability of our data is acceptable since we only involve a small sample size. Firstly, we are going to have a look at the factors contributing to sleep behavior. Among all of the factors suggested, only 3 of them are having a p-value less than 0.05. So we conclude that the only factors which influence the respondent's sleeping behavior are time for bed, duration of naps taken, and sleep disorder.
Next, I will continue with the factors which contribute to the eating habits. We have used check all that apply method for respondents to select which factors influence them the most. As we can see from the table, it is shown that the 3 major factors which influence the eating habits of the respondents are food preference, which is what the respondents like and dislike, food access, the financial stand, and how convenient the respondent can get their food, and time, which is the time available for the respondents whether to skip or to cook on their own. Meanwhile, nutritional knowledge and stress comes in the 4th and 5th respectively. Moving on to the relationship between sleep behaviors, eating habits, and body weight, after running a chi-square test, we have separated all the categories to underweight, normal weight, overweight, and obese for convenience purposes. I will start off with the underweight respondents. From this, we can see that on the respective accounts, there is a relationship between underweight respondents with having unstructured meal patterns, eating because of stress, taking supper at night times, eating out of boredom, and eating when already full, and average length of naps. Then, there is also a relationship between them, cooking on their own, and times of naps taken in a week. Besides, the respondents also have relationship to consuming snacks, junk food, sugar-sweetened drinks with consumption of stimulated beverage. As for the normal weight respondents, there is a relationship between them, always buying from the cafeteria, eating when already full, and sleep duration per night. They are also related to eating out of boredom and time for bed, respectively. There is a relationship between them, eating less or more when something bad or good happens, eating out of boredom, and times of naps taken in a week. They are also related to eating out of boredom, eating when already full, and average length of naps. There is a relationship between normal weight respondents buying from cafeteria and using smartphone before bed, without having relationship to taking supper at night times and days of physical activities. Lastly, this group of respondents are also associated with cooking on their own, consuming nutritious food, and because of stress and sleep disorder respectively.
For the overweight category, respectively, it shows there is a relationship between overweight respondents who have unstructured meal patterns, eating even already full, and sleep duration per night. Besides, there is also a relationship between overweight respondents eating when already full and average length of nap. Overweight respondents show relationship with consuming nutritious food, eating less or more because something bad or good happened, and using smartphone before bed. Meanwhile, obese respondents who prefer to cook on their own shows a relationship with sleep duration per night. On respective account, there is a relationship between consuming snack, junk food, sugar-sweetened drink, eating 3 balanced meals a day, eating out of boredom, and time for bed. Next, obese respondents who consuming snack, junk food, sugar-sweetened drinks, eating 3 balanced meals a day, and times of nap taken in a week also show a relationship respectively. There is also a relationship between obese respondents consuming snack, junk food, sugar-sweetened drink, and using smartphone before bed. Besides, there is a relationship between obese respondents consuming nutritious food, eating less or more because something bad or good happened, and days of physical activities.
So to say, on general, for each of the BMI category, there was at least one factors which are related to each other. However, this cannot prove if the relationship among all the variables are positively or negatively related to each other. Nevertheless, this study still prove on a previous research, it was suggested that eating habits and sleeping may interact together to influence an individual's body weight.
In a nutshell, this study highlights that a total of 45% of the respondents were at abnormal BMI categories, which is underweight, overweight, and obese, with particular sleeping behaviors and also eating habits. We believe that this deserves attention from Counseling Center to introduce more body health-related awareness campaigns to our students.
I would like to add on for the suggestions for further study. It should include more participants from various groups of populations, a more complete anthropometric measurement such as including the BMI, waist to hip ratio, and body fat mass. Besides, it is also recommended to pinpoint and study a more significant sleeping behavior and eating habits as shown from the results to achieve a better finding. For example, by studying the positive or negative relationship between the respondents of each BMI category, eating habits, and average length of nap. Therefore, further longitudinal studies are recommended to determine more conclusive results. Thank you.